Everyone, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and another part of our Manchester United Legends series. Now we're about to take on Atletico Madrid in the second leg of this quarter-final in the Champions League. It could well be the final meaningful game of our entire season. But that said, the team have been playing like we haven't had a meaningful game for the last couple of weeks. As you can see, we have not won a game for a month, actually. It's been an entire month since we last won a match. On the 10th of March, we beat Man City 3-1. It's now the 10th of April, and we've lost to Villa, Atletico and Derby 5-1. Humiliation in that game is the only way to describe it. They absolutely tore us apart, and we offered nothing in resistance. It was a weird little spell before half-time where they went 3-0, or they went 2-0 up, we pulled one back, and then they went 3-1 up, and in the second half, we did nothing to counter them. So not the best warm-up ahead of this match. It took Derby up to 12th. Not one of the relegation teams, but a team that we should really be beating a lot easier. Well, we should just be beating, to be honest. But a 5-1 defeat there. It means we've now gone 4 games in an entire month without a win, with a must-win match on the cards. We did lose 3-2 away from home. It means we have 2 away goals in our favour today. But we do have to win by at least 1 clear goal and hope we don't concede too many. The other bit of bad news is that Pele is injured. He is on the bench, so we can bring him on if we need to. But we do have Law up front, Giggs, Charlton and Best across attack midfield with Edwards and Scholes in central midfield. Then Carey, Ferdinand, Stam and Neville in defence. We are pretty much at full strength. Having Pele on the bench does not help, but that shouldn't hinder us too much. The big problem today is how we're going to deal with Escudero, who we failed to deal with last time. He is back up front. He got a hat-trick in the last time. We now need to try and get Dennis Law firing in a similar way. They're pretty much the same team as last time. I don't think they've changed anybody in their squad. So we do need to try and put in a better shift than we did last time out. I'm not sure if we're actually going to come out of this. As you can see, Atletico have won 4 of their last 5 games. I'm going to tell the team to go out there, get a bit of vengeance, but it's going to be so tough. Even at home, this is going to be a tough match. Atletico Madrid are such a strong team, but so are we, and ultimately that's what matters. Now, Edwards plays the ball forward to Law. It's Giggs. We need to see more from him. He's not been the same player since he came back from injury. Kalar. No result from that highlight, but so far Atletico with the only shot of the game in the first 8 minutes or so. You get a couple of shots off there. Here's Kalea into Kalar. Ball goes over. Neville heads it out. Now Best plays it forward. Finds Dennis Law. Brilliant turn by him. He's got players arriving on his left if he can hold it up. He takes to the byline, puts it in. It's cleared out by Rivella. Comes to Neville. Turned over by Atletico Madrid. It's Kalar to Escudero. Escudero running at us, goes for goal from a long way out, but it does go wide there. So no real threat from Atletico up to this point. But here's Carey into Scholes. We can do an attack of our own here. The ball goes down the line for Giggs. Great position into Dennis Law. Well saved. Law on the follow-up has missed a pretty much open goal there. He's cracked it against the crossbar, but Dennis Law should have finished. Here's Carey. Finds Edwards. Carey again into Charlton. Back out to Carey. Ball goes in, it's cleared out by Rivella. Edwards over to Scholes. Edwards out wide to Carey. Not quite advanced enough for a good cross and is easily dealt with, but the ball's come to George Best. Out to Neville, a lot of space for him. He goes into Scholes. Now Edwards. Just playing into trouble really. We're going to have to go back to the defence in a minute, but Neville does have it. Scholes into Charlton. Neville in a lot of space now, and Best does find him. The ball goes in. Law is there, and Dennis Law with the header that means that as things stand, we are going to the Champions League semi-finals ahead of Atletico. It is a tight game still. Another goal would be an absolute godsend because that would give us an even bigger cushion. But right now, we are going to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And Atletico not threatening us too much. They have a corner. Kalar puts it in. Oh, and it's gone in. Griffer causing me no end of griff. And it's now 1-1. Horrific there. I can't believe that ball has gone in. There was nobody there. It should have been the first defender clearing that, but managed to get past him, and it's now 1-1. Scholes to Edwards. We've got it all to do again. Over to Charlton. was left for Giggs. Law's got in, and Dennis Law makes it 2-1. Absolute horrendous mistake in defence, and Dennis Law ran onto it and blasts it into the back of the net, and once again we are the team heading through. Now if they score again, they will cancel out our away goals and it becomes a straight shootout. But here they are. Neville clears it. Ball goes forward. Kalar over to Piero. Now Escudero puts it wide. If they do get that goal, it does really put the pressure onto us from that point on. But at the moment we're heading through on away goals. Neville to Charlton. Ball back to Neville. Scholes finds Edwards. Now Law on a hat-trick, tackled by Griffer. Ball goes forward. Been left, and Schmeichel has missed it. Escudero, open goal, makes it 2-2. That is the worst mistake I think I've ever seen Schmeichel make. Why he waited for the ball to come instead of just hoofing it, I don't know. But it's now 2-2, 5-4 in aggregate, and our away goals are cancelled out. We now need to score one just to force extra time. We do still have Pele on the bench. He's not quite fit, but he's fitter than Law at the moment. I'm going to tell the team I am not happy. Everybody but Bobby Charlton reacting well to that. We've got 45 minutes. We need to score 2 goals. Here's Stam passing it off, but nothing coming in from the kickoff for us. A couple of players on yellow cards, Neville and Edwards. Nobody for Atletico at this point. Not seen an awful lot happening in the first 5-10 minutes of this second half. There are a few shots going off, but nothing highlight worthy. Schmeichel plays it forward though. We need to score here really. Best can't find Scholes. Stam intercepts well. Scholes again. Back to Stam. Ball pitched forward to Best on the right. Manages to cut in. Puts the ball in. Law is there. And Dennis Law gets the hat-trick that makes it 3-2. If you've got to step into Pele's shoes, you really do need to play well. But Dennis Law has done just that. He loves this competition. I think he's the top scorer in the Champions League. Now here's Carey into Edwards. We do need one more. Ufarte, ball back. Griffer puts it forward. Now Escudero gives it away. Dennis Law looking for his 4th goal. Plays in Best instead. He's in on goal, and George Best makes it 4-2. Dennis Law with the assist, and as things stand, we are going through. But if Atletico score, then they will go through on away goals. The game has turned completely on its head at this point. I don't know what substitutions we can really make. Beckham could come on. I think I might bring him on for Scholes, and I might also bring Keane on for Edwards, just to shore up and give us some fresh legs in midfield. Stam is struggling, but I don't want to take him off. Best is now injured, which does not help us, but we do have Beckham who can play there. The question then becomes, how do we fit somebody into midfield? But I think what I'm going to do is drop Charlton back and then bring Pele on just behind Dennis Law, and see if that is enough. I'm hoping that Pele doesn't get a bigger injury in the next 15 minutes, but I think he's fit enough to play here. Only 15 minutes left to see out here without conceding, so we do have fresh legs on the pitch. That's what's important. We've got Pele and Law now down the top end, and if Law can get another assist, we're in a great position. Here's Carey to Keane. Ball across to Charlton. Into Giggs. He's in on goal, and he finds the bottom corner. That's the tie, all wrapped up. An excellent second half from our team, and we've managed to win 5-2 as it stands. Law has now picked up an injury. Not a great game in the context of trying to keep our squad fit. We're now playing with 10 men for 5 minutes, but they need to get 2 goals at Atletico. It's not past the realms of possibility. 5 minutes of added time. Looks like we're probably going to eke this one out. Dennis Law getting injured. It's a big blow, but it does mean that Pele will simply have to play up front now that he's back from injury. Beckham plays the ball to Neville. Now Stam to Keane. Imagine scoring 7 goals past Atletico Madrid over 2 ties, but we've just managed to do it. And we are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And this dream run in the biggest cup competition that we can play in is still going. Dortmund have managed to knock out Marseille. Dortmund will be a good, interesting team to play in the next round. But Dennis Law out for 5 or 6 weeks now. That is not ideal, but thankfully Pele is back. You can see he's got 28 goals. In Continental Cup games, he's got 13 in 6. That is not bad at all. If we just have a look at the overview of the Champions League, you can see he's not actually the top goal scorer. The top goal scorer is Ronaldo He's managed to get 15 in the Champions League in 10 games. He has played more than Law, but he's got 25 in 38 overall. And other teams going through, you can see Dortmund have gone through, but not yet found out who between Kiev, Juve, Inter and Barcelona are going to join us. But we do now, if we look at the schedule, know that we're going to have the semi-finals coming up soon. We've got to play Wolves and Stoke between now and then. If we look at the table, we're still 9 points clear, but there's only 5 games in it now. So that massive 15-point lead we had is now gone. We still need 2 wins to wrap up the title. So hopefully we'll be able to do that between now and next episode. Do drop a like on the video if you are still enjoying this series though, and let me know if you think we're going to win the Champions League using the comments. But until next time, see ya!